Hi friends, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Noki, and if this is your first time here, hey, welcome. It is so good to have you. On this channel, I talk about ways of making and saving money, creating wealth, and giving you different ways that you can increase your income streams for your family. Like I always say, depending on one source of income is hazardous to your family's well-being. So with that being said, lately I noticed that a number of you have jumped onto the eBay bandwagon, and congratulations for those of you who have started selling on eBay. And I could tell because I've been getting a lot of questions of some, I don't want to say technical questions, but on some procedural questions. So what I'm going to do today, I know I've promised you this video since last year. So this is the day. I'm going to be showing you how to list on the eBay platform from start to end. So from beginning to end, from A to Z, I'm going to be showing you how to list on the eBay platform. And I'm taking into consideration that you are listing on your laptop or on your computer and not on your smartphone. While I use both the laptop and the eBay app to list my items, both have advantages and disadvantages, and hopefully I'll be covering those as we go along. So if this is the type of content that you're interested in today, then keep watching. So as you can see, I'm going to be using this whiteboard. We are in class today, and yeah, let's try this whiteboard for the first time and see how it's going to work. And I hope you can see. You might want to keep pausing this video as you are listing your items, or keep coming back to it, rewind it, do whatever is easier for you to see and to follow along in these steps. You might actually want to be doing it as I show you how to list on eBay from A to Z. So without wasting any time, let's get started. So I'm going to be using these three colors here. And let's start with black. The first thing that you want to do is you are going to go to ebay.com, sign up for an account, and once you sign up for an account, a seller account, when you log on to ebay.com, you're going to click, the first thing that you are going to do once you get onto the eBay website, you are going to click sell, which will be like somewhere here on your page. So that is like on the top right hand corner. That's where you are going to see the sell, but the sell tab. So you're going to click on sell, and when you click on sell, it's going to take you to the seller hub. And the first thing that you are going to see is it's going to say, tell us, what are you selling? So this is the first thing that you are going to do. So that brings us to the first item that you are going to be taking care of. So that is your title. You're going to be taken to your title. So the way you are going to write your title, I'll try to go slow. So the way you are going to write your title is like this. The first thing that you want to write is the brand name. The brand name. Brand. So that is who makes or made this item. So that's the brand name. So the brand name is, for example, let's say you are listing a Liz Claiborne blouse. So what you're going to write, the first thing you're going to write is, let's use a different color here so that we see the difference. How about red? So Liz Claiborne. That's the brand name. Okay, so that's the first thing that's going to show. Liz Claiborne, that's the maker of the blouse. So, and then the next thing that you're going to, after the brand name, you're going to enter the gender. Who is it made for? So it's a Liz Claiborne It's made by Liz Claiborne, and it's a women's. So you write women's. Maybe let's do this differently. So it's Liz Claiborne, women's. Let's do this in a way that you're going to understand, in the way to appear on your listing page. Okay. So for example, it's a Liz Claiborne. Liz Claiborne. I butchered that spelling there. I don't think the R is there. I think the R is on the end. So it's a Liz Claiborne, and then whose is it for? It's a women's, so it's women's. Oh, this is still on the first line. I have limited space here, so I'll put it down here. Women's. Don't use the apostrophe. No, don't use any special characters. So you write women's without the apostrophe. So it's a women's, and what is it? It's a blouse. Women's blouse. And then what size is it? So you'll say size M for medium. So after the size, then you are going to follow with the color. What color is it? It is black. So black. All this is still in the first line. I'm doing it this way because I don't have enough space. My whiteboard is a little bit small, and I'm writing big so that you can see. So we have in this order, Liz Claiborne, women's blouse, size M. You don't have to write the medium in full, size M or whatever size it is, and the color, it is black. And then what is it made of? This is very important. The only materials that you are going to include on your title are materials that are attractive, the desirable materials that people or buyers, potential buyers, may be looking for. So you are going to put materials like cotton. If you have enough characters, because here you get on the title, you only have 80 characters to work with. So cotton, and if you can come back later if you have extra characters and say 100% cotton. Or the other materials that are desirable. If it stretches, so you're going to write stretch. So that means it has spandex. So if it has spandex, the other materials that are desirable are rayon. Rayon is a good one to put in there. The other material that's desirable that potential buyers may be looking for, cashmere. This is usually for tops or sweaters. I think I'll do a whole video of just dealing with the title and the words to use and not to use. What other desirable materials? Wool. If you are listing a winter jacket, wool. And then if the type of wool is specified, you are going to put the name of that specific wool. So that's what. So this is the order. This order is very important. It's a who makes it? Liz Claiborne. Who is it for? It's for women. So it's a Liz Claiborne women's blouse. What is it? It's a blouse. And what size is it? It's a size medium. What color is it? It's a black. And then materials. Materials cotton. If it's cotton, you can get all this information on the size tag, or the size tag or the brand name tag. It may have this information. At times the tag is somewhere around the part of the blouse or the dress, depending on what it is. So moving on. Okay, like I said, in the title you have the ability to use 80 characters. You are allowed 80 characters. Do not use special characters. Do not put undesirable materials like acrylic, like polyester. Those are a no-no. Don't put those in the title. You are going to put them in the item specifics or in the description, but do not put them on the title. On the title, you want to put keywords that are desirable, keywords that have a potential to be searched on Google or wherever somebody may be searching. If say somebody who comes into the eBay website. Just imagine yourself. How do you search for an item? If, for example, you are searching for a sweater top like this, what characters are you going to put? What are you going to write in your search bar? So that's exactly how you look at it. Consider the keywords, the important keywords, things that people may be looking for, things that people may desire to have. No matter what kind of item it is, you have to make sure that those keywords the keywords that you are putting in your title are desirable keywords. eBay has what's called a title builder. You can, I think I'm going to do a separate video on how to use the title builder, where you can actually go in and search for potential or good keywords to use, so to speak. So now we've gone as far as the desirable material. Anything after those 4 items, you can put other keywords that may be attractive depending on the item that you are selling. Remember, I did say that if it's stretchy, always put stretch, because and people do like, especially women, they like to know if a sweater, a top, a blouse, or a dress, if it has some stretch. So if you look at the fabric content tag and you see that an item has spandex, that automatically means that it is stretchy. Or if it has, it may be called elastane. So it will either say elastane or spandex. That is an indication that that blouse or dress stretches, or the pants, jeans, or whatever. If it's got spandex or elastane, you can put stretch instead of the actual material on there. After you've gone through those 5 important items in that order, the order that I showed you, you can put other things like a long sleeve, if it says long sleeve, and you have enough characters. And with an item like long sleeve, you don't have to write it in full. LS will do just fine. And the other thing that you have to know about writing your title, like you don't have to use plural for sleeves. If you want to write long sleeves, don't write long sleeves, just write long sleeve, one sleeve, and automatically the eBay algorithm knows exactly what you're talking about. And then the other keywords, I think, how about if I do a whole video on keywords? Because I think that's a very broad and important thing that you can benefit from as a new seller. And then the other thing that you want to add on your title, if an item, say maybe if it's a dress, if it is it is a zipper closure, you can write zip on the title, or you can write pullover. If it's a pullover like this, top of mine, it's a pullover. I can write pullover. And if I were to list this, I would write cut out here. This will be cut out if I have enough characters remaining. I'll write cut out. And then if I have enough characters, the type of sleeve here, this open type of sleeve, this is a bell sleeve. If it's wide like this is a bell sleeve, and this is a sweater top. So you write, and then you can also put knit. Knit is another good keyword. And what it does, the more detailed your title is, the easier it is going to be for you as you go down your listing. What it's going to do is it is going to auto-populate in the item specifics. So the more detailed and the more accurate your title is, the easier for you and the quicker the listing is going to go. So let's move on. I think I'm just going to do a whole video talking about keywords for different clothing items. Okay, for example, let me give you one more example, saying, because I sell a lot of shoes. Say you are listing shoes, so you're going to start with the brand name of the shoes. Say I'm listing, say Steve Maiden. So these are boots. Say they are boots, winter boots. So I'll write. This is how my title is going to go if I'm listing the winter boots that are tall to the knee. I'll write Steve Maiden. That's who makes it. Steve Maiden makes these boots. And whose boots are these made for? They are made for women. So I'll write women's. Remember, no special characters, just write women's. And then after women's, so these boots are made by Steve Maiden. They are made for women. And what size are they? They are size. Oh, the other thing about the word size, if you run short of characters and you have more important things to put on your title, you can write size as SZ. Just SZ is fine. So it's size, the size, and then you write the size. Is it size 8.5, which is 8.5? If it is, oh, this is so important when you are listing boots. If the size has a letter next to it, say if it has an M or a W or an AA or a triple A, some do, believe it or not, or a B, that means this is size 8.5 medium, and an M and a B, they are the same. This means the size is medium. And a W, that means this size 8.5 wide. This is so important, because if you leave this wide, if you leave it out of your title and you leave it out of your description, you run a risk of getting a mad buyer who's going to buy this shoe thinking that it's an M, because if it just says 8.5 and doesn't have any letter to it, if it doesn't say anything next to it, automatically that means that's a medium. So an M and a B are the same as this 8.5 without anything to it. That means it's a medium. So if it has a W or an AA or a triple A, make sure that you put it next to the size, because that's going to make the buyer know that this is a wide, this is a bigger, a wider 8.5 shoe or boot. We're talking about boots, by the way. It's an 8.5 wide boot, and if it's AA or triple, this is very rare, but it happens. I've sold sneakers that had this, and if it has AA, this is narrow. It says say AA or triple A, or at times it will put an N next to it. That means it's a narrow. It's for a lady with a very, very slim foot. So it's important to note those, to look at the shoe, the boot, and see if it has any letters next to it, and make sure that if the letters are there, especially if it's a W, or if it's a double A or a triple A, or just an A on its own, or an N on its own, men or women, make sure, well, with men they are different, they put the letters different, they're totally different, so let me not confuse you. So you have to make sure you put it next to that. So we have Steve Maiden women's sorry guys, I have to go back. After women's, before the size, I'm sorry about that, I'm too it's women's boots, so let's get rid of that. So here, it's boots before you get to the size. Boots, or you can also say winter boots after women's. So it's women's winter boots. So it's women's winter boots, size, and then you put the size. And then after the size, and the letter, and then you put the color. They are black. After the color, this is important. Then if they are 100% leather, then you put leather. If you have enough characters, you can put the 100%, but just put leather to be on the safe side. And then if do not guess the material. If you are not sure and if you don't know, or if you know that this is fake leather, then that's why you can write faux leather. That will tell the buyer, the potential buyer, that it is not 100% leather, it is imitation leather. So this is how you, and then after that, you write tall. You can, same with the boots. So after the black leather, you can write tall or knee high if they are knee high. If they are mid calf, you write mid calf. If they are for a wider calf, if and you know for sure that they are for a wider calf, you write wide calf. You can write if they have an elasticated calf, you can write elastic calf. As long as you have enough characters or keywords, that will let the person who is interested in them, that they can buy them, because even if they have a wider calf, because it's going to stretch, the calf is going to stretch. And then at times they will ask you to measure the circumference. You can put that in the item description. Okay, moving on. So now moving on, now that you have your title with all the important keywords that are desirable and you've used up all the characters, try to use as many characters as you can, so that you can give an idea to your potential buyer what item it is before they could go on reading more about the item. That the title is what is going to make them click and tell them that they are in the right place for whatever they are looking for. So, and the more detailed your title is, I keep stressing this, the more detailed your title is, the easier your listing is going to go. So now that you have your detailed title and you've gone back and revised it, make sure you highlight the title, highlight it, and select all and copy it. You just select and copy it, and then we're going to use it a little bit later. So now moving on, the next thing that you are going to move on to, anything that I do not mention, that means you skip over, it's not important, or if you click on it or do anything to it, it might charge you extra. So you are not going to, for example, you are not going to put anything where it says subtitle. You have no business putting any subtitle. Otherwise, you're going to pay money for that subtitle. Just leave that blank. You don't need it. And you are not going to click that little box that's right below your title that says stand out, whatever. And I think it's about $5 for making your title to be bold. There's no need for that. It doesn't make any difference. So moving on, you are going to what you are going to see next is you're going to see where it says category. Automatically eBay will put your item in the right category as long as you put in a detailed title and everything is spelled correctly. If your spellings are wrong, it might be put in a wrong category. So you want to make sure that you revise your title and make sure that everything is spelled correctly, and make sure that eBay, when you go where it says category, that's the eBay categories. It to say, if for example the shoes and the clothing, it to say clothing, and then it to go on and describe the type of item that it is. Make sure, just read the whole thing and make sure that it is the right category. This should be straightforward. And then right below that, if you have chosen to do store categories, which I don't recommend right now because it might confuse you even more, just leave that alone and skip over. Go on to the condition. So you go to condition. So where it says condition, this is very important. Where it says condition, you are going to put the condition of your item. If it is brand new with tags, you're going to, there's a drop down menu. You're going to select the first one that says new with tags. If it is pre-owned, you are going to select the one that's pre-owned. Just, in other words, just select the most appropriate one for your item. And then right under condition, there is condition description. This is super important as well. On the condition description, and I think you have something like 1,000 characters to work with. On this condition description, this is where you are going to mention any defects that are on your item. If there's any discoloration, if there are any stains, if there's any abnormality with that item, it's going to go here under the condition description. And what I always like to do as well, say most of the items, if it's an item without any defects, even if it's pre-owned, I'll say let me use a different color. Let's use blue. I'll say in excellent pre-loved. You can say pre-owned condition. And then if it's something like if it's any item of clothing, if it's skirts, dresses, blouses, then I will go ahead and say, see measurements in the description. We are going to get there. In the description to ensure fit. So this works as a reminder for my customer that they should not just take the size that is mentioned on the title. They still have to go to my description where I'm going to list all the measurements. This is very important because you are selling maybe say pre-owned, pre-loved items. There's a chance that even if it's a size large, it has either shrunk or it has grown bigger, expanded due to wear and tear and the washing and all that. It might have grown larger than its normal size, or it may have shrunk smaller than its original size. So it's super important that you write this here as a reminder to your customer that they should go ahead to the description, which we are going to get to in a little bit, and they are going to see their measurements in the description. So that's what you put in the condition description. And right after the condition description, it will take you to photos. You are going to upload the photos. The easiest way for me is because I take the photos using my smartphone. So I upload the photos on the eBay app. Whatever you are doing on the website or whatever you are doing on the app, everything auto saves and auto populates to whatever platform you are going to log in for. What am I saying? So when I say I'm here, I can decide to either continue with my listing, leave the photos blank and go all the way to the end and then just save it. But even if I don't save it, say the page closes by mistake, automatically everything is saved. And then I'll go on my phone and then I'll go on I click sell on the selling on my app. I go into the eBay app, and when I click selling, I'm going to see that draft. It's going to be a draft. I'm going to see that draft without photos, the one that I just started on the desktop or on my laptop. So I'll go in there and then I will upload. I'll make sure that the photos are ready to go before I start listing. So depending on how you choose to do it, but I always take the photos, all the photos of the items that I'm going to list using my phone, and make sure that I crop them and make them look nice, get rid of extra spaces. Make sure you crop all your photos as much as possible, make them look nice. And then so when I get there, all I do is upload the photos, and the photos will automatically save onto the desktop as well. And the other thing about the eBay app, until recently they've really like developed it and made it better. You can even you can edit your photos. They have a good photo editor on the eBay app as well. Same on the PC. I prefer the PC one because you have more to do on the desktop than on the app. Though the app at times works good, at times it doesn't. At times it will just maybe clear one side of the photo and leave the other side dark. At times it will really make the whole thing look nice. At times it will make your photo look way darker than what it is. So at times I prefer to go back to the desktop and really edit my photos on there, which will be another video. There's a very easy way of editing your photos on using the photo editor on your laptop or desktop, whatever you're using, so that they look very professional without you having to download another app. We have enough apps already. So, and make sure that your photos. Okay, let me tell you here about the photos. Oh, okay. The order of the photos is very important. So the first photo that you want to upload and make sure it's the main photo, that's the photo that's going to appear as your listing cover photo. You want to make sure that it is a full length, and eBay like square photos. So the first photo has to be a full length. Oh my gosh, I can't even see this. It has to be a full length photo. That means the whole item, the whole body of the item has to be seen. So if it is a dress, the whole full length of the dress has to be seen. If they are jeans, the whole length of the jean has to be seen. Same with blouse. Every single item that you are going to list, the first photo. Actually, I do first two photos. The first two photos, this is a personal preference for the second photo, but the first one definitely has to be a full-length photo. So with me, I do two. And the reason why I take two of them, at times the second one looks better than the first one. And then at times, since you know that you have to keep coming back, you can change them around just for that extra activity. And then the second photo has to be a close-up. Second or third, for me it's the third. So let me put third here, because for me it's the third. The second one is the same as that one. So the third one for me is a close-up. So the close-up of the item. So if they are jeans, it will be the close-up of the first half or whatever it is. And then the next photo, the fourth photo for me, it's going to be the full length of the back, full length of the back of the photo of the item. So the fourth photo for me is the full length of the back of the jeans or the dress or whatever it is. Same with well, with shoes is totally different. I'm going to do a separate video on how you list shoes and boots. So that's the full length. And then if there's any more special characters or any special accents or features on the item, make sure that you take extra photos for that. eBay allows you 12 photos maximum. It allows you 12 photos. You can use up all the 12 if you like. If you're on Poshmark, I think it's now 8 photos. So you can use up 12 photos, but try not to upload less than. So make your minimum. Try to make 4 to 6. Absolute minimum. I never do less than 6 photos. So the more the photos, the better, because your photos are going to tell the story to your potential buyer. They're going to see what they are going to buy. So, and remember, we say it in the condition description that if there's any defect, you are going to mention it in the description and go ahead and take the photo of that stain or that defect. That has to be included on the photos. Take the close-up picture of the defect. If you don't the potential buyer is going to upset when they receive their item, and they might return your item as and the reason that they are going to give is item not as described. And whether you offer paid shipping by the buyer, if they give a reason that the item was not as described, eBay will force you to pay return shipping. So get that right. Now, after the photos, you move on to the item specifics. Now, this is where the work is cut out for you depending on how detailed your title is. If your title is detailed enough and you maxed out those 80 characters, most of the work is already cut out for you. However, that does not mean that you should skim over the item specifics. You still have to go item by item and make sure that whatever item specific auto-populated there is accurate for for that item that you are selling. So, for example, some brands, for whatever reason, do not appear on the brand name, because the first thing that you're going to see on the item specifics is the brand name. So for whatever reason, at times, some brands will not appear. But giving an example of that Liz Claiborne item that I gave you before, if your spelling was correct for Liz Claiborne, Calvin Klein, Steve Madden, if the spelling was correct, that's what you should see on the brand name. The brand name should appear there. However, for those brands that do not appear for one reason or another, you have to go back and check your spelling, or you have to, if it's, it might have something like this. I always say maybe M&M, or it might say new. Yeah, it might say black. It might pick any word from the title. Make sure that when you get to the brand, you correct the brand name if the auto population is incorrect. So you make sure that you type in. At times you just start typing and you see it automatically appears. So at times it's either the spelling or whatever it is. But whatever it is, make sure that all the items in the item specifics are accurate. And then make sure that you complete as much of the item specifics as possible, especially the ones that appear with an asterisk with this sign here. That means these are mandatory. You have to, otherwise your listing, you won't be able to list the item. If you leave the style is one of the things. The style, the brand name, the size will be like size type and the actual size. All those are mandatory. If you don't put this, if you skip over this, your listing is not going to list. It's not going to go up. You get an error message as you try to list. So make sure that on the item specifics, everything is completed. And if for whatever reason, if you don't have enough characters on the title and you have put in LS or for long sleeves, this will not auto populate. So on the sleeves you have to go and manually select long sleeve in full. The neckline, everything, just go step by step. Everything that is applicable for that item and that you know the information, you make sure you complete. Do not guess. If you are not sure or do not know something, for example, if you do not know the material that the shoes are made of, do not guess. Do not say leather when they are not leather, because you're going to get a very upset customer who's going to return that item, and you want to minimize the number of returns. So you want to make sure that whatever you are inputting in the item specifics and on your title, that it's information that you know 100% for sure. And most of that information, if it's clothing, it's on the size tag or on the materials tag somewhere in the clothing as well. Still on the item specifics, there are some things that I want to mention that are so important that are going to help you. For example, where it says pattern, where it says pattern, for example, this is talking about the color like the pet terminal, if there's diagrams or checks or plots, or if it's solid like this, I'll say this is solid. It's a solid black color. So I'll say here, solid is the most popular. And then at times, if there are checks, it's check, or it will say plaid. And then if it's geometric, this is common with neckties, men's neckties. Yeah, or paisley. This is another kind of, or another popular one, flora. These are the most popular ones, solid, and that means the color. It's not talking about the material type. It's the designs on the or if there's diagrams or whatever. If it's color block, you write color block. At times you can get away with, if you're not sure of the whatever patterns on there, at times I'll say multicolor. Yeah, talking about multicolor, if your item, say we're going back to the title, if your item has more than 2 colors, you can write multicolor, or you can pick the one main color or write multicolor. At times I get away with it, especially when you are not even sure of some of the colors, because some of those colors can be so hard to tell, and eBay just picks the general colors. For example, if you write navy blue, it's not going to auto-populate navy blue. It will just say blue. Or if you write turquoise, or if you write all those nice fancy names for colors, it will not pick that. It will just pick a closer shade to that. Okay, now we move on to the item description. Remember, I asked you to select and copy your title. Now, this is where we'll need the title. When you get to the item description, this is where you are going to do the marketing and the full description of the item that you are selling. So what you want to do is go ahead and right click and paste that title. The first thing that you're going to do is paste the title here. So paste title. This is just a reminder. Paste title in description. So paste the title here, and then if you want, and then depending on where you started your listing, if you started your listing on your mobile phone, on your smartphone, the title will already appear here automatically. That is, if you started your listing from your phone, the title will be here already. So what I always like to do is to make everything bold on here. I make everything bold. You're going to see the bold will be somewhere here, and then it will say standard, and then the bold will be somewhere here. Somewhere here to say HTML. Leave that alone. You have no business doing HTML now. It's no longer applicable. So you are going to, I make them bold. I make everything bold. And then not only do I make everything bold, because we know that people are so lazy to read. People are not patient. So I'll click the bold, the bullet. I'll write my my marketing things in bullets. So I write my things in bullet point like this. This way it's easier for them to read, and they can scan over it. I write there. So usually the first thing that I do, this is personal preference. Again, you don't have to repeat this, but I do it. I have a system and I maintain the system. I kind of have an order of how I do everything. So usually here I'll say, you don't have to because it's already indicated. So at times I'll say brand new with tags, or just brand new. If it's got tags, I'll write with tags. And then usually I'm telling you the way I do it. Again, you can do it the way you want, your preference, you do you, okay? And then my second line is always, and again, I'm giving you examples. Made from high quality. Remember here, this you are doing your marketing. High quality. If it's cotton, I'll say made from high quality. If it's 100%, I'll say 100% cotton. if it's not 100% cotton, then I'll say made from, remember this information is in your fabric tag content. So if it's made of 95% cotton, I'll say 95% cotton and 5% spandex. That is that material that makes it stretch, that made you put stretch in the title. I'm talking about clothing because that's what I mostly sell in shoes. So if it's leather, I'll say made from 100% leather. If it's wool for winter coats, I'll say 100% wool. If it is 100% wool, if it's got a different type of wool like lame wool, rabbit wool, make sure you put them there because those can be very attractive. If it's cashmere, make sure you write it's 100% cashmere. Be careful with cashmere because at times cashmere tends to have holes. So you can lift it up in light and see that it doesn't have any holes in it. And then after I say this, I'll go ahead and say, so say maybe if I'm describing a pair of stilettos, I can go in and say super sexy stilettos, if they are stilettos. I'm just giving random examples here. And then again, the other thing that I like to write on here, like great addition to your wardrobe, or something like great. No, I avoid repeating same words. I'll say if they are shoes, I'll say maybe I'm describing the heel. I'll say block, if it's a block heel, block functional, if it is functional, comfortable, sturdy, all those are descriptive words, sturdy, platform, if it is a platform, heel. That's just, I just picked a different example. So that's how you write your description. Now, let me tell you something important about now we are still in the description, right? Remember on the item condition, on the condition description, you wrote see item description for measurements, blah 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 blah. This is where you say, so after those bullet points of marketing your item and telling them why they should buy it, how good it is, and the softness of the fabric, the comfort of the shoe, the slip-on, all the nice glittery things that you have advertised there. So now you are going to put, now this is for shirts, dresses, any item of clothing. Now you're going to say, always say approximate measurements. Measurements, the full word. Why approximate? This is to cover your behind. If you write approximate, you are covering your behind, because there's that one seller. Let me show you something here. So you've written approximate measurements, and then you've measured the dress. So you measured the bust. This is how I do it. Some people do it differently. Actually, I write it in full. I say bust is. So this is how I do it. You may choose to do you the way you want to do you, but this is how I do it, and this is how I recommend you do it. And I'll tell you why I do it the way I do. So the bust, that is, so I'll measure from here, from this, see this intersection here across to here. I'll measure that across, multiply it by 2. That's why some people do not differ. So you're going, I measure across and multiply it by 2. So if from here, the intersection here, from here is say 20 inches, If it's 20 inches, our right bust is 40 inches. You can put this, or you can write the inches like that, or you can write them in full. Now, what's been happening is, okay, I've written my bust 40 inches. There is somebody who never agrees with this 40-inch bust. They do have a good argument, because some types of clothes, they have more material in the front and less material at the back, to allow the girls. But then some are just the same. But the reason why I do it this way, because the way I'm measuring, I would have laid everything flat. I would have laid it flat. So to me, it still comes to 40 inches. Now, because there's that one potential buyer who's going to send you a message and say, please tell me the armpit to armpit measurement or hole to hole measurement. What I started doing is to save me some headache and trouble. What I started doing, right under bust, I write armpit to armpit. So that 20 that I multiplied by 2 to give me 40 is the armpit to armpit is 20 inches. Do you know how much this has saved me time? Because now I don't get any messages asking me for this measurement, because I decided I'm going to save myself time and trouble and put it right there. So I put it right there. So after this, okay, let's just demonstrate using my top here. So after the armpit to armpit, then I will say sleeve length So you want to do this for coats, men's shirts, and they will really love this. So sleeve length, and so the sleeve length will be from this seam here, from the shoulder seam here, all the way to the hem. That's my sleeve length. So if my sleeve length is 21 or 23, I'll put whatever number it is here, 23 inches. That's my sleeve length. However, there are some designs like what we call, thank God for my mom who taught me how to knit. There is what we call a raglan sleeve. A raglan sleeve. Raglan sleeve. Okay, what a raglan sleeve is, it doesn't have a seam. It just shapes up from there here, from the armpit here, it just narrows all the way to the neckline. So if you find an item like that, measure the inseam of the sleeve. So measure from here all the way to there. So if it's a raglan sleeve, you write raglan sleeve inseam is. Then the inseam will definitely be shorter than this 23. It might be 18 inches because you started from the armpit. So the raglan sleeve, you just write the raglan seam and put right there that you measured the inseam, sleeve inseam, or you can just say sleeve inseam and then write the measurement, and then you can put next to this, after the size, write raglan sleeve. So that tells them that the sleeve goes all the way to the neckline. So the other measurement that you want to include is the length of my top here, of my knit top. Length is, so you have two ways of measuring the length. You can either measure it from the center back, or I personally measure it from the shoulder seam. So shoulder seam at the back all the way down to the hem. So I'll measure from, and make sure you tell them where you measured it. So I'll say length from shoulder seam is, if it's 25, I'll say 25. Okay. Then right after this, let me show what else I include. So now we're still in the description. So right after my approximate measurements, oh, and by the way, I was going to tell you why you write the approximate measurements. You get this one buyer, potential buyer, who, because they either like to complain or want to get a partial refund or whatever, they will receive this sweater. Then they'll start double checking the measurements. But the fact that you said approximate measurements, it will cover you because you did not say exact measurements. You're going to say approximate measurements. One, it will depend how they measure it or what kind of tape measure they use or how they, you know how some people measure, they don't know how to measure, period. So when you put approximate measurements, should that person, that buyer open a case against you about measurements, you are covered. eBay is going to cover you because you wrote approximate. You didn't say, never ever say exact measurements, okay? Now, right after the measurements, what I normally do is I normally say, this is just me. And if you want to do it this way, you can, it's up to you. Say I copied and pasted my title here, and it's not from my app, from the phone. I did not start from the phone, because if I did not start from the phone, it's not going to mention my method of shipping. So what I do is I'll write right below the measurements. What I normally write is fast. If it's a priority, which is going to be something else, I'll say for now, just for now, let's say fast shipping and handling. If it's priority, I will say fast priority shipping and fast priority shipping. And then right below this, this is what I do. Again, it's up to you, but I recommend you write it. It will save you a lot of headaches. I know a lot of people, different people put different things here. Some people put in their return policy. You know, I don't, because that information will be all over the page on your, or when the person is on there looking at the item. The return policy, even if you don't offer return, eBay will force you, and it will be there to state that they accept returns. So the other thing that I write here is, this really helps a lot. I write pet. Only do this if this is applicable. Pet and smoke-free home. You are giving them information that they potentially need to know. One, you don't have pets. If you do, don't put this statement here. Only put the statement if you do not have pets and if you do not smoke. What this will do is, for those people who have pet allergies and people who have smoke allergies, they need to know, because something they'll get to them smelling of smoke, and some things will get to them with pet dander, pet hair, and they might react badly and you might be sued. So you want to make sure that if you do not have pets and if you do not smoke, put this in there. It will help you a lot. And if you do, I don't know, just leave it blank. Leave it blank, and they will send you a message and you're gonna tell them the truth that yes, we do smoke in this house. But if you don't, write the statement there, pet and smoke-free home. I do this for all my eBay listings and all my Poshmark listings, just for those people who have allergies. Okay, now moving on to the selling formats. You have two types of selling formats that you can pick. You can either choose the fixed type of format, where you just list your item and put a price on it and it can sell anytime. Or you can choose the auction format of selling. So now, the most popular type of format is the fixed type of format, fixed selling. And this is what I'm going to cover mostly right here and now. And then I'll tell you about the auction style when it is recommended to use it. But for now, let me tell you about the fixed and why you should pick the fixed. One, it is the most popular way of selling because we know we live in a day where people want to just see something, click and buy and receive their goods in a couple of days, compared to the auction style where you can pick up between 3 to 10 days. Of the auction going on, people are putting bidding on your item, and the bidding type of sale usually is recommended if you are not sure of the price or how to price your item. Then you can go for the auction style. And usually how I use the auction is when I want to get rid of old inventory. When stuff has been sitting for a long time, I normally run a 99-cent auction or whatever price I decide to start on. And with the auction format, what you want to make sure that you always charge the buyer for shipping. Never ever go for free shipping because you'll be in the hole. And so anyway, I'm going way ahead of myself. So let's look at the fixed format of selling on eBay. So you're going to click on the drop down with the two options where it says selling options, and you are going to pick fixed. And now once you click fixed, it will update the page and it will automatically select good till cancelled. Good, that means your item is going to be relisted every 30 days without you having to go back and relist. And I know before this, is it like 2 years ago when eBay changed this to fixed good until cancelled? But before this, we used to go back and relist your item. But even if it says good till cancelled, if you have insertion fees to be paid whenever, those insertion fees will still be applicable. So now we're going with the fixed format. Let me know how I'm doing with this whiteboard thing. If you like it this way, then some of these kind of tutorials I can bring them to you this way, because some people understand better when they see something written. And the good thing about this, you can pause, you can screenshot and do whatever, or you can come back still and just be looking. This is for people who are more visual, people who learn by seeing. Yeah, so okay, so with the fixed, once you select fixed, it's going, like I said, it's going to auto-populate and update the page and say good till cancelled. And then as you go down, the other things that you are going to see on there, when you want your listing to go up, leave it as selected when you list the item, just leave it at that. But you can also schedule your listings when you want them to go live, but I always see no point in doing that. Just list it, and when I click list, I just want it listed and forget about it. But you can still schedule, and I don't think they charge for some scheduled listing to schedule. Actually, yes, they do charge for scheduling a listing. If eBay is going to do it for you, they are going to charge you. I think it's something like 10 cents or 30, I don't know, but I think it's 10 cents. I never use it, and so I don't think it's wise to do that. Just list it and let it go live, and then it can start selling. And then after you see that, when you want the listing to go live, you also are going to see the best offer option. Oh my goodness, I cannot stress this enough. Let me write it in red. You'll see the best, I'll write this in big bold, best offer. Let's talk about best offer. You want to make sure that you select best offer. Make sure you click best offer. What best offer is going to do is to increase the chances of your item selling. And what this means is that if I come to your store or your eBay account, and I see that you are selling something that I'm interested in, say you are selling it for which is another video. I'm going to tell you how I price my items. Say you have priced something for $36.99, for example. Say you have listed something for $36.99, and then there's also maybe plus $10 shipping. These are just numbers that I'm picking to make everything easier. So say I'm interested in this item that you are selling for $36.99 plus $10. So for me, I know that I'll have to pay $46.99 plus taxes now, believe it or not, unless if it's an international buyer. But if it's here in the United States now, they are collecting taxes as well. If you are in the state of Illinois, where I am, they'll add 10% is going to be the taxes for my county. And eBay collects that on our behalf, and they send it to the state of Illinois at the end of the year. And that's why we pay all those fees, the final value fees and insertion fees and all the type of fees that eBay charges us. And I'm thankful that they do that, because that takes away the load of having to deal with sending taxes to the state. So if I see that your item is $36.99 plus the $10, and I'm like, okay, this is maybe overpriced, or I cannot afford to pay 36, I can come in using the best offer. I will click the best offer button that I'll see on my end. It will say make an offer. It will say make an offer. So I'll go in and make an offer. I'll say, okay, you listed this thing for $36.99, but I'm willing to pay $30 for it. I'll submit an offer for $30. So I'll submit an offer for $30, right? And you as the seller, you receive this offer. This is still talking about best offer. You receive this offer and look at it, and depending on your pricing system, which is why I'm going to tell you about why it's always important to price a little higher than the actual money that you want for that item. That will be a separate video. So you look at this $30 and say maybe you look at what you paid for the item initially. Maybe you paid, let's say, tops, maybe you paid $10 for it at the thrift store. Maybe it's a pair of shoes and you paid $10 for it at the thrift store, and you priced it at $36.99. But behind your mind, you know that maybe the minimum that you want for that pair of shoes is like $25. Maybe that's your minimum. Like you say, okay, 25, or maybe let's say 20. Let's say $20. Say maybe you say the minimum you want is $20. So I come in and I say, okay, these shoes, I like these shoes, and I'll put an offer. I'm willing to pay $30 for these shoes. So you look at you receive my offer and you're like, oh, $30. This is fair. This is good. You click accept my offer. The moment you click accept offer, once you accept my offer, eBay just considers that item sold. So I'll get a message that my offer has been accepted. Please pay now. It will tell me, and then they give me a couple of days, 48 hours to pay. So then I will pay for the item, and then you do the rest. And that's the reason for the best offer. It increases the chances of having more people buy your item than just leaving it without best offer. If you don't give us the best offer, that tells us that your item is non-negotiable. All you want is 36 and you are not going to negotiate. Though some buyers will still, even if you don't put best offer, they'll still send you a message and say, will you accept $20? Will you accept $25? Some of them will still do that if they're interested, but most of them won't be bothered. They are going to move on to somebody with the same item and who accepts best offers, and you'll just shot yourself in the foot. So I always recommend, and any good eBay seller will tell you, always turn the best offer option on. Okay, I hope that is clear. The other thing that you are going to see under the best offer is auto accept. and then it will have the amount that you can put there of what you want to accept, or it will, and then the other option, these are, you can select this or you can leave them. I will not tell you what to do on this one because this is very controversial. Auto decline. So you do your business the way you want to do your business. So on this one, do what you want. Some people will check this. So if you do, that means if somebody comes in and puts in a certain amount, say you say auto accept any offers that are over $20. Anyone who puts in an offer of $20 or more, their offer is going to be automatically accepted. And if you say auto decline offers that are $19 or less, anyone who tries to put in an offer that's less than $19, it's going to automatically decline. Most people do not like this because they say, and I do understand, if somebody offers you less, remember you have an option to counter. You can counter offer. So that is, you have room for negotiation. By you putting auto decline, you are saying, I'm not even willing to negotiate with you, go away. So if you put if you leave this blank, or if you are annoyed by these low ball offers, you can put a very low amount here so that you still have room for negotiation. You can do counter offers, and that counts as activity on your eBay store. So you can counter offer back and forth until you agree on a price, or they might decline. Most of these customers, at times, they will automatically decline that. They might automatically decline your counter offer. So be very careful with using auto decline and auto accept. Okay. Let me quickly mention, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on the auction. So say you are not sure of how to price your item, and you end up going with the auction style format of selling. You want to make sure that you pick, ideally, eBay suggests that your auction runs for 7 days. That's like their ideal number. Your auction, make it run 7 days. Mine, usually I make mine run for between 7 and 10 days. 7 to 10 days. It's up to you. It's really up to you. And then the money, the lowest bid that you want is going to be the least that you want for that item. For example, if you are not clearing stuff, because when I'm clearing stuff, I can just put whatever I want. Say you are selling something and you are not sure of the price, and the price was all over when you're checking the comps on eBay, comparing the prices on eBay, and the prices were all over the place. You can say maybe it's a backpack. You can say, okay, I don't want anything less than $14.99. So that would be the lowest bid. So this way, remember that you can, there's a chance that you will only get one bid. And if you only get one bid, that bid is going to be for $14.99. Yeah, that's the lowest bid that you're going to get. And you're saying, okay, I'm willing to accept $14.99 if I get one bid. However, if there's multiple bids, this can go up to as high as what the buyers want to pay. And then the other thing that you should remember with auction, always make sure that you charge shipping, add shipping. Add shipping when you go in there, and I'll tell you how to do shipping. And watch out for the video right after this. I'm going to be showing you some shipping supplies and how I ship my items. So yeah, so make sure that with that $14.99, you add shipping. The reason being, the danger of making free shipping with auction is, say I'm here, and if somebody in California buys this item for $14.99 and it doesn't fit on any flat rate envelope, and I'm sending it by weight, and this item, say it weighs between 2 and 3 pounds, guess what? I'm going to be in the hole. I'm going to be in the hole. This will not even cover shipping to California from Chicago. It's going to just not even be enough. I'll have to not only be on negative, but I'll have to add more money to get to the shipping, to send this buyer the item that they want. That's why you don't want to do free shipping on auctions, because if you do free shipping, you are losing money, and you may not even that purchasing price of that bid, that only one bid that you got, may not even be able to cover the shipping cost. Okay, I hope that is clear. That is super important as well. Yeah, with that being said, I think I'll move on from the auction style. I'm not going to spend a lot of time because not too many people use auctions, and not too many people look for auction style items, except maybe if they are looking for some particular bargain or something. Okay, let's move on. So after you're done with setting up your best offer and all, the next thing that you are going to see is the quantity. Double check to make sure that the quantity is okay. If it's one, it should say one. And there's an area there where to say sell as a bundle. That's a different story. If you're selling one item, just sell one item. You're going to learn about loading up and selling bundles as we go. I'm not going to cover that today. So we move on, and then you're going to leave that donation thing alone. It doesn't change anything. I tried it last year, towards the end of last year. It doesn't impact any sales. It just shows that you're donating to some cause, but just leave it alone, leave it blank, and then move on to the return policy. The next thing that you're going to see is the return. The things that I'm covering is what you have to pay attention to. Return policy. So this is super important. Now, on your return policy, eBay definitely wants us to accept returns. So when you get here, how many days do you want your returns to be? Do you want to accept returns? They got rid of the 14 days. So the most common one is returns within 30 days from the day the customer received the item. And then right after the number of days, you can also pick 60 days. It's up to you. 30 or 60 days is up to you. And then right beneath the number of days, you're going to it's going to ask you who pays for the return shipping. You can either have the buyer pay for the shipping, or you, and that will be the seller. So on that drop down, you select the one you want. If you want to pay for the return shipping, you select seller. And what this will do is it will indicate next to your listing that you accept free shipping, free returns. And if it's the buyer, it won't say anything, to just leave it blank. I kind of play around with both depending on the item. What I noticed is if the shipping is paid by the buyer, what I've noticed, in my case, it may be different with you. In my case, when the shipping is paid by the buyer, for me personally, what I've noticed, it reduces the number of returns that I get, because they'll look at the shipping charge that they have to pay, especially depending on the reason. For example, if they buy a pair of shoes and they want to return them because of the size, or if they say anything that they buy and the return reason does not fit, they have to pay for the return. However, if the same shoes that they received, they decide, oh, these shoes that I received, they are different from what I saw on the listing, and then they open up a return, and the reason that they give for the return is item, we call item not as described. We call it INED. This one here, if they give this reason, whether I selected buyer paid return shipping or seller, it does not matter. eBay is going to make you pay for the return shipping because you falsely advertised your item. So you want to make sure that the description is correct and accurate, including the color, so that you don't get too many INETs, item not as described return, because this will count against your account. Okay, so you decide whether you want the buyer to pay for return shipping or the seller. Right now, most of my items, they are buyer paid return, for reasons that I've seen and mentioned, that at times they look at they'll just return items willy-nilly because they know that you are the one who's going to pay for the return shipping. So I chose to go back. I used to just switch around, go between the two, but as I saw that the number of returns were increasing because I was responsible for all the return shipping, I decided to make them pay for the return shipping, and this drastically reduced my my rate of returns. Okay, I hope that is clear. Now we're moving on to shipping. To simplify your life and not to complicate your life, to make your life easy, this is what I recommend when you first start selling on eBay. Stay away from free shipping, because if you try to do free shipping when you first start out, you will lose a lot of money because you still are trying to get the hang of how to set the shipping rates and the pricing, how you price your items, and all those will come into play. If you try to do free shipping when you first start, I guarantee you, you're going to lose money. So stay away from free shipping. So when you first start, when you get to shipping costs here, when you're setting your shipping, you are going to select calculated. This is a drop down. It will say calculated, and then it will give an expansion where to say according to shipping. Oh no, it will say cost. Oh, let me get rid of that. It will say cost, meaning the shipping cost varies according to buyer location. I'll give you examples, okay? Don't worry. You see what I'm talking about losing money. So you set it to calculated, and the eBay system automatically calculates the shipping using the USPS in the States, your postal service rates, and it will automatically calculate. All you need to do is make sure in the next step, you need to put in the accurate weight. You need to put the accurate weight, and I'll show you how to do the weight without even running a loss on shipping. So what this is going to do when the shipping is calculated according to buyer location, let's give examples here. So you'll say calculated according to buyer location. At this point, you know whether your item is 16 ounces or less, 16 ounces or less, or over 16 ounces, 16 ounces or higher. Why this is important is anything that is 16 ounces or less goes as first class shipping. So from 1 to 16 is first class shipping. However, if you decide to go to the post office with an item that weighs 15 or 14 ounces, it jumps over and goes as priority shipping. So we have kind of a leeway by printing our shipping labels on the website, on the eBay website. And anything that's over 16 ounces, that is 1 pound, 1.1 pound going up, it goes under priority shipping. And there's different ways of you can do priority. I'll show you on the next video. I'm going to be doing a shipping video for, well, maybe the next 2 videos, I'm not sure. But the next video should be about the shipping supplies. So anyway, So you're going to set it this way. At this point, you know whether your item is 16 ounces or less, or 16 ounces or higher. That way, you will know what to select. If it's over 16 ounces, because you have a scale and you've weighed and you know, you are going to select the priority type of shipping. So if you are doing calculated according to buyer location, when on the next drop down, if it's not first class, if it's first class, you're going to automatically select first class, and then it's going to calculate according to their location as well, and according to the weight that you are going to put in later. And then if it's over a pound, over 16 ounces, then you're going to select priority, whatever number of days, priority. And priority also, you can select the type of priority you want. When you first start, again, I'll say just go with priority. Don't try to use, especially when you don't know what type of envelope or packaging you are going to use. Just select the priority 2 to 3 days. I think now they have it as 2 to 5 days after priority mail. Yeah, so that's how you're going to do that. So, and then now you move on to the next item, which will be the weight of the item. Before we move away from the calculated shipping and priority, it is recommended, highly recommended. Say your item is going to go for first class shipping, right? If offer another shipping service, you can, because first class usually takes longer. It can take these days it takes even longer due to what's going on around the world. It can take as long as maybe it takes like maybe 3 to, depending on how far it's going, 3 to 8 days. So if somebody decides that they can pay for priority because priority is way faster, they might say, oh, I'm not patient to wait for priority. I'm willing to pay for priority. Make sure that you give them that option. So you give them an option to do an option to pick FedEx. You can also give them an option to pick UPS. It's up to you how you set this. Remember, you do not have to calculate anything. eBay will do that as long as you have the correct weights entered in your listing. Okay, moving on. I thought I should mention that. After shipping, you're going to see handling costs. We do not charge any handling cost for anything. eBay did away with that. Even though you're going to see it, you are not going to charge any handling charges for anything. eBay did away with that. You can do local shipping, and there is a charge that you can put on there. Local shipping, it's again, it's not popular. You don't want to be arranging to meet with people as if you're selling on Facebook. So leave that local pickup thing alone. You're also going to come across international. This was domestic. So you're going to come international, select, you're going to sell internationally, and you're going to see an option that says using the eBay Global Shipping Program. Make sure you enroll in that. What that does is when somebody says somebody in Canada or somebody in Europe, UK, or Japan, or wherever they are internationally, once they buy an item, eBay will send me a message, and all they're going to send to me is the local shipping cost. So what I'll have to do is to ship the item to to the eBay fulfillment center. I think the one nearest to me here is in Kentucky. So I'll see that I'll automatically know that if it's shipping to Kentucky, to the eBay shipping fulfillment place, I know that that's an international order. So what I'll do is package it nicely as normal and send it in, and then eBay will do the customs paperwork, and then they'll have already collected the international shipping charge, and they're going to do the rest, the customs forms and all that not so nice stuff to do, the additional work. They'll do that, and they will send the order to the customer. Then they'll send me a message to let me know that they've done it. Okay, so that's international. Always opt in to international, and make sure you do not accept returns from international buyers. Otherwise, you'll be out a lot of money. So moving on, you come to the weight. it will say the first thing that you're going to see, leave those extra irregular size packages, leave that alone. You are going to see where it says custom weight. You're going to see custom weight. Where it says custom weight, it will have a blank box with a pound sign, and then another blank box with ounces, OZ. So now what to do, and as time goes on, you're going to get the hang of this. So if your item weighs so if it says custom weight, that means you have to you want to put the weight of the item actually. So if your item weighs 1 pound and 8 ounces, so you put 1 pound and 8 ounces. This automatically is a priority shipping weight because it's over 1 pound, which was that 16 ounces I told you about. So if it says 1 pound and whatever number of ounces, usually what I do, I always round it up to the next pound. So to me, this will be 2 pounds. So if you don't do custom weight, you can click on custom weight and then there'll be a drop menu where it says 1 to 2 pounds, which is what I'll select for this particular item. 2 to 3, which is whatever is applicable for you. And these weights are super important because that is exactly what eBay is going to use to calculate the shipping cost. Okay, and then yeah, you pretty much are done at this point. You want to make sure all your zip code is in there, right? Where the item is going to ship from, because all those things really impact the way the shipping is going to go. Never ever undervalue the weight of an item. Say if an item weighs on its own, if it weighs 15 ounces, right? If an item weighs 15 ounces and then you have not even put it in the packaging, what is highly recommended is before you weigh your item, make sure you package it in the package that you are going to ship it in, and see what the actual weight is with the packaging. Because if you just weigh the item, say you weigh this top on its own, and then after I wrap it nicely in my in whatever I used to wrap, and then I put it in the merchandising bag, and then that 15 ounces ends up being over a pound. It ends up being 1 pound plus maybe 3 ounces. If I try to ship this under a pound, the post office is going to either send it back or they are going to charge your customer extra shipping, and you'll have a very unhappy customer. So it's important for you to make sure that you have the accurate weight all the time. You'd rather go over, because you are also going to recheck the weight when you are doing the actual shipping. So always put, what I do is, for example, for the first class items that I ship a lot of first class with the beauty products, the personal care products, the blouses, the tops. Most of them are under 16 ounces. So what I always do personally to cover myself, I always put it as that ounce thing at the box there, I always put it as 15 or 14 ounces. And then I'll adjust it when I ship, then it can be adjusted. That's how you do your shipping. So if you have any questions when it comes to shipping, I'll be doing another shipping video. Actually, it will be 2 shipping videos: the detailed shipping video and the video of the shipping supplies that I use. That should be the following video of the shipping supplies that I use. Otherwise, if you want a detailed shipping video of how I decide on what packaging to use and how I set the shipping rates, just let me know in the comments below. So after you're done with the shipping rates and you've checked your information that everything is correct, you can, if you want to boost your sales, if you want to give eBay extra money, you can click that boost it says boost to sell your item faster. I recently got rid of it because I noticed that I was just giving eBay extra money. But you can do that. Try it out. It's good to try these things. You can boost, and then once you click boost, that's for the promoted items. Then you can select the promotional rate that you want. So you can even have it as low as 1%, 2%, or you go for the trending rate, or set whatever promotional, whatever percentage of extra money you want to give to eBay. And then also after below the boost, you'll see where it says volume shipping discount. No, sorry, volume discount. So that is if somebody buys more than one item, are you going to give them an additional 10 or 5 or 15, 20% or whatever? That I have set up. Yeah, so you can go all the way from 2 to 5 or whatever multiple number of items. That is, the more it's an incentive for them to buy more. It doesn't happen a lot, but it does happen that they see one item and then they're interested in another item. Then you can give them a volume discount. That is that. So with that being said, after you get to the end, just go back and revise and make sure everything is okay. And then you make sure that the other important thing that I want to mention as I come to the end is when you get towards the end, it will say fees. Make sure that if it's, as long as it's not auction, the fees that you should have there should be 00. If you see any type of amount in where it says fees, if it is an amount, it might be 50 cents or $5. Go back and revise your. You might have checked something in error, so you don't want to be charged anything extra. So you want to make sure that it says 00, because those fees or should be charged after you sell the item. So that is that for how you list on eBay from start to finish. I know this went longer than I expected, but hey, you can just watch it in bits and pieces as you list your items. Send me any questions if you do have any questions, or if you need more training, more one-on-one mentorship or coaching, send me an email. I'm going to leave the email below. So with that being said, did you find this video useful? And what other tutorials do you want to see on selling on or listing on eBay? Do you want to also see a Poshmark tutorial? Poshmark is pretty easy because you don't have to deal with any shipping. The shipping rates are flat rate. You just have to know what shipping supplies to use, but it's pretty easy. So that's why I always concentrate on eBay, because eBay has the most challenging and most detailed listing shipping when it comes to the shipping rates. So with that being said, thank you so much for watching. Look out for the next video, which should be the shipping supplies that I use more frequently. This is going to help you out, and it will make you know which supplies to request or to order from either Amazon, eBay, or from the USPS if you are in the United States. Thank you so much for watching. Remember to subscribe, and remember to ring that notification bell so that you do not miss any of my valuable content. I tell you guys, I bring you value here. And yeah, so just leave me a comment and let me know what you think. And yeah, share my videos, share them as much as you can, and I'll be bringing back the giveaway soon as we hit some milestone. We want to be hitting some milestones before I start giving away more money, but definitely I'll be bringing the giveaways back as long as we are growing the number of subscribers here on this channel. With that being said, remember to do small things with great love. From my heart to yours. Bye bye.